The ad network, in order to, they can start working directly without actually interacting with AppsFlyer, but the advertiser would not be exposed to their attribution. So in order to actually start and integrate with AppsFlyer, it's very straightforward, and I need to pass postbacks to AppsFlyer. The SKAdNetwork postbacks are by default sent to them, and that happens from the user's device. After they get the postbacks, they actually have we've opened two methods of transferring the data to us. One is just server to server to our endpoint, which is open to ad networks. And the second way is just a redirect. So once you get a postback from the user's device, if you reply with a redirect to our endpoint, the user's device will send the same postback to AppsFlyer's servers. So these are two ways ad networks can do both of them. What they can do also with the first method that I mentioned is enrich the postback with more data, such as, for example, campaign name. So SKAdNetwork framework supports up to 100 campaigns and only campaign IDs, no campaign name. So what the ad network can do is do the campaign name resolving on their end. Say they have received a postback with campaign ID 45, then they know campaign 45 is actually campaign US 45 plus, etc. And then when doing the server-to-server method, they can send this information to AppsFlyer, and the advertiser will have this interpreted, translated results back in their dashboard.
Great, yeah. From the Everflow side, we've already updated it, so we can now pass that postback directly to you, and also pass when there's like a click, say like mobile web, where you can't use the SKAdNetwork framework, like we can pass like the IP user agent and everything else. That way, all the data gets to AppsFlyer.
That's really important.
And another question I had is, what is sort of like, how should clients think about handling mobile web versus in-app traffic for iOS? Like, what does that look like for an AppsFlyer client to handle both mobile web and SKAdNetwork in-app traffic?
Great question. So at AppsFlyer, so currently we have, for iOS, we have basically now two manners to measure. One is SKAdNetwork and the other are probabilistic modeling. And we're also doing, we also have our web to app attribution. And that works, and advertisers can leverage that, right? And that is not supported by SKAdNetwork, as I mentioned before. By the way, no web to app, no web to app, and also no view through. I don't know. Again, I take it for I already know it, but it's important to mention at this point. And so no view through also is not supported in SKAdNetwork. So going back to the question, web to app supported by AppsFlyer attribution, and everything else that customers, whether it's an ad network that doesn't support anymore, probabilistic modeling or attribution. We've seen interesting development by Facebook in even the past week. At first, they were saying they're not going to show the consent message. In the past week, they've said that they are going to show it. So I think things are still very dynamic, and things probably will change by the time the ATT framework is out. Yeah, but it's important to understand what type of attribution you can use for what data, and things just got more complicated.
Say I'm a publisher and I've been approved by the client to use view through attribution. Is there a way for me to pass that impression data to you and then receive back the postbacks when you probabilistically attribute it? How does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So that stays the same, and you're allowed to do that. And I think with regards to postbacking back to you, we've released new privacy settings of what we post back to the ad network, the publisher, etc. And then we have our privacy mode and advanced privacy. So under the regular default privacy mode, we do post back the data back to the ad network and containing, for example, click ID or other identifiers. But in advanced privacy mode, and that is determined by the advertiser and what they want to share, we would not share the user identifiers or the click ID for that instance. So that's also one step that we also took into a more privacy-centric method, which is controlled by the advertiser. We see ourselves as a first party of the advertiser. So we really leave the choice up to the advertiser, and we enable. That's our job here.
That's awesome. And so, if I'm understanding this correctly, that means that if they're using the basic privacy, like if I'm a publisher, I can just keep sending traffic the way I used to, like send the click data, send the impression data, and you'll handle the rest. I don't need to worry about anything. It's only when they switch to advanced privacy that I need to make sure that I'm being compliant with this like SKAdNetwork framework.
Yeah, essentially, just that postbacks are not in the advanced privacy. It's just that postbacks are no longer going to have user level identifiers. Anything, no IP, no click ID, no IDFA if we have it. Anything. This would not be sent in an advanced privacy mode.
What are your thoughts on like the next couple of months in SKAdNetwork?
That's very interesting. So I think we will see a lot of advancements on what you can do from both, us, I can say, other MMPs, also specific advertisers, on what can be achieved with the conversion value, as I mentioned. This, I think, would be an important progress here. I don't know if it's in the next few months, but I do think Apple will continue to develop SKAdNetwork. So we've seen a major update from version 1 into version 2, which we're currently at. But I think more things are going to come out in next versions. And obviously, that's huge. Any small update is going to be so significant for the whole ecosystem. So I think this would be immense.